COVID-19 has already kneecapped the global economy, which was already feeling very battered. Now it's no longer a question of whether we will enter a recession, rather how deep will the cut go. As such, governments around the world are scrambling to bubble wrap their economies in the form of emergency stimulus packages. Here we look and compare at several stimulus packages for around the world as governments attempt to protect their most vulnerable. Thailand's stimulus expected to create 14 million jobs, which is 85% of nationwide employment. This will benefit 14.6 million low-income earners, 50,000 village funds, 7.2 million farming households, and 3 million SMEs. There'll be a moratorium on principal payments, debt payments extension, and the right to borrow from special financial institutions. The Bank of Thailand has called on commercial banks to lower the minimum payment for credit card holders, and they will invest more than 65% of Super Savings Fund in the Stock Exchange of Thailand to shore up their stock market. Central Bank will actually cut a key interest rate by 25 basis points to a record low of 0.75%. Both stimulus packages together will amount to 11% of GDP. They will draw 17 billion Sing dollars from its reserves, only the second time in the country's history it's done that. The biggest chunk will actually go to supporting workers and saving jobs. The job support scheme will be enhanced and extended, a total of 15.1 billion Sing dollars for over 1.9 million employees. Firms will receive wage subsidies between 25 to 75%. Eligible self-employed persons, they will get 1,000 Sing dollars a month for 9 months. There's a special payout too for lower income workers, which will be increased to 3,000. 10,000 jobs will be created over the next year. 145 million Sing dollars are set aside to help the unemployed, and the businesses and self-employed will be granted a 3-month deferment in income tax. Singapore Airlines will get a lifeline, a 19 billion injection from state investor Temasek Holdings. PM and the ministers will take a 3-month pay cut as a sign of solidarity. And the Monetary Authority of Singapore eased its monetary policy, reducing the slope of its currency band. $29.1 trillion in Korean won in loans for SMEs, 20 trillion to buy corporate bonds and commercial paper of companies facing credit crunch. Financial Services Commission, they'll announce a 10.7 trillion facility, which is set to stabilize the stock market. Funds will be channeled to the health system, childcare, and outdoor markets. Bank of Korea actually cut its benchmark rate by 50 basis points to a record low of 0.75%. $250 billion US for direct payments to individuals and families, 1,200 per individual for those with annual incomes of less than 75,000 US dollars. Couples will get 2,400, the children under 17 will get 500 US dollars. 350 billion US dollars for small business loans, and 250 billion will fund unemployment insurance benefits. 500 billion allocated for loans for distressed companies. Jobless workers, they will get an extra 600 US dollars a week on top of their state benefits. The airline industry will get a 32 billion shot in the arm in the form of wages and benefits. Hospitals will get a 117 billion injection. And the Federal Reserve actually cut interest rates to essentially zero and launched a massive 700 billion quantitative easing program. Their stimulus package is equivalent to 4% of GDP. 8 billion New Zealand dollars is for wages and income support. 2.8 billion is in business tax changes to ease their cash flow. 500 million injection for health services, and 600 million support package for the aviation industry. The Reserve Bank of New Zealand, they cut their benchmark interest rates from 1% to a record low 0.25%. and launched a large-scale asset purchase program to buy back up to 30 billion of Kiwi government bonds. Malaysia's package has a 10 billion ringgit allocation for one-off payments to the B40 and M40. Their one-off payouts ranging from 500 to 1,600, benefiting around 5.1 million households plus a number of unmarried individuals. 1 billion in additional allocation to the Ministry of Health to equip the frontliners. There'll be also an additional 4.5 billion for SMEs and deferment of income tax payment for 3 months starting April. Government will subsidise 600 ringgit a month for workers earning less than 4K for 3 months at companies whose income has halved since January 1st. 530 million allocation to provide 15 to 50% discounts on electricity bills, for usage of up to 600 kilowatts for 6 months from April, free internet for all users, with caveats starting April 1st until the end of the restricted movement period. Mega projects announced under Budget 2020, they will continue, including MRT2 and ECRL, among others. PM and the ministers will take a 2-month pay cut. The savings will go into the COVID-19 fund. And finally, Bank Negara Malaysia cut its benchmark overnight policy rate to 2.5%, lowest since July 2010.